A number of months back, I modeled this frog mech. Well, now he's getting a little friend. Play nice, you two. Ya is the illustrator that inspired this model as well, and I find that his art style really works well with my brain. I made the model all in Blender, with 3 different weapons, 2 sizes, and a little secret mark on the bottom. After it was all modeled, I exported the parts and hopped over to Fiverr to get them supported professionally. This user, Mihailo, does an awesome job for a really affordable rate, and he got these parts all supported and ready to go. It's a tight fit on the build plate of my old resin printer, but it'll make it. A few hours later and I had a physical model in my hands. I printed 2 regular size, which I'm calling 28mm scale, and 1/75% size, which I'll call 1/72nd scale. I'm painting a full-sized one today, but I'm looking forward to painting up some more in the future for a game of Tonks. I primed all the parts with a spray can primer, except for the body of one. I wanted to try adding some texture to it, and this is what I did. I scooped out some Liquitex modeling paste and watered it down with a small amount of water to thin it. Then I stippled it onto the surface, excluding the mechanical bits that I wanted to keep smooth. You obviously don't want to use a nice brush for this. An old one that's on its way out will do. Once the paste was dry, I grabbed some fine grit sanding sponges and smoothed over the higher peaks of texture to flatten it down a bit. This gives it a kind of cast iron look that you can really see with paint on. I airbrushed some black and brown undershading. Mixed up a silver and bronze paint to dry brush over the machinery. And I mixed some yellow, brown, and green paints using transparent colors that would not cover all the shading all the way. The original illustration was painted with watercolors, so naturally it has some blotchy colors. With the base coats of paint all on, I moved on to weathering. I added a black wash to the mechanical bits. And used some pigment powders to add soot, grease, and dirt stains. This helps to sell that texture too. With the painting complete, I added some 13mm by 2mm magnets to each side, being sure to keep them centered, assuring a perfect rotation of the turret. Speaking of turret, I went with the machine gun attachment for now, but it's not glued in and I can swap it out later if I need to. I'm not sure if I want to release this model yet. I haven't decided, but I might print some and make a few copies available as a physical kit. I might also just upload the STLs to my Patreon page. Speaking of Patreon, thank you to my amazing patrons. And welcome to my newest patron, Stacy Deller. You all are the best. This was a fun model to create, and it's always fun to see something you design all the way through to the end. Let me know what you thought about this little mech. Go create something, and I'll see you on the next build.